There is a real crisis with elephants and ivory. Demand for ivory has never been higher and the elephants are fewer. Scientists are unanimous that elephants are now decreasing in all 4 regions of Africa.
I have spent hours and hours watching elephants and come to understand what emotional creatures they are. They can suffer and feel pain. They have long-term supportive bonds between family members. So it's not just a species facing extinction, it's massive individual suffering.
We see the suffering, the wounding, and the mourning of elephants time and again as one after another get killed. To crush the ivory in America is of huge symbolic importance. It's going to send a message out across the world and remove that ivory from the market forever.
And the next step will be to totally ban the sale of all ivory. In the United States, there are so many ivory bracelets and bangles and pendants and little ornaments, and every single one of those means a dead elephant.
Elephants are very resilient. If they get protection from the trade that they need, they can recover.
One of the biggest problems is the high price of ivory, and this means that the poachers are prepared to risk their lives even, because the rewards are so great. And it's tremendously important that the demand countries understand what it means with this ivory coming into their country.
And we believe that great opinion leaders who are respected can show the way. If the new generation thinks in a different way from the old generation and regards ivory with horror rather than as a status symbol, then we can change things in a big way.
Today, I think the US government have shown great leadership in crushing this ivory. It sends out a signal around the world that America is prepared to do something about this trade in ivory. And now it's time for the leaders to take it a step further and impose a complete ban on the sale of all ivory in the United States.
If America shows that leadership, then other countries can follow, particularly those who are consuming huge quantities of ivory.
We have to stop the killing, stop the trafficking, and stop the buying.
Congo and its other neighbor, Gabon, are big forests with a lot of biodiversity still sitting in those forests. And those are kind of like the last stand. Those forests are kind of the last stand for some of the bigger iconic species like forest elephants. The pressure has kind of come all around, and now this block of forest, you know, millions and millions of hectares of good forest, good habitat, but the wildlife trafficking situation is just totally out of hand. In recent years, we've just seen such a spike in the ivory trade with the economic changes happening in Asia. Development also, it's helping a lot of areas become less enclaved, and now the development is happening at a speed that's sometimes faster than the speed of the development of justice. It's just a question of political will. We just need to see see the right players come together and make it happen. Change is possible. So basically, when you have something that's that beautiful, it's definitely worth fighting for.
When we are on the ground and we see all the challenges, we could feel very discouraged to continue because the road is still very long and we know we don't have the time. However, you will always find people really motivated, really determined to work for their own country, for their own wildlife. And our role is to support them, to encourage them because they are on the right way. And as an NGO, even international, we will never be successful without those people on the ground at the source who share our view, our ideas about protecting wildlife.
Last year, more than 1,000 animals were killed. Where's all the calves? That's the one question we must ask. Where's all the calves? Because they're not in rehab centers. All of them are definitely not here. So maybe that's a question the world needs to ask. Where are all those calves? There I was, me with my big mouth. I actually, in front of the world press, said, I'll build the world's first rhino orphanage.
They come in, a lot of them are traumatised, a lot of them are severely injured. And you have to kind of build that bond to get them to trust you after, you know, something that looks like you has just hacked their mom to pieces.
You see that one there? She was hacked 21 times. You could actually still see the marks. The one between the ears was an axe wound that went right through the skull. And if you wanted, when we cleaned the wound in those days, when you had to open the wound, you could see the brain. But she's now perfectly healed. I said when we started the orphanage, if I could save the life of one calf, it would be enough. And we've now saved the life of at least 2 dozen calves.